Hey, Kitty Girls, it's Sunday, April 20th, 2025, and welcome to COL Drag Race T-Time. It is Season 17, Episode 9, where we're going to talk about the grand finale, the final lap of Season 17's race. Yes, Hunties, we have a new crowned winner! Literally just days ago, and it's already kind of been a whirlwind. So,
yeah,
we're going to talk about that end of the show. Yeah, sorry, David already knows. I got a lot of feelings about this one. Anyways, for those of you that don't know, my name's Gary. With me is my ever fabulous co-host over here.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Happy Easter or 420.
Oh, baby, I would rather be celebrating 420 than And please don't misunderstand. I enjoy spending time with you, but anyways,
I get it.
Yeah,
totally understand.
Yeah. So, with that, should we jump into our first segment?
Let's do this.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
All right. So, our first segment, put the pedal to the metal. This is our overall thoughts on this finale episode. We've got our three categories: serves, swerves, and nerves. Serves are obviously the things that stood out to us that we really, really liked. The swerves are the things that probably should have avoided in this particular lap around the race, so to speak. And then nerve could be positive or could be negative, as in it do take nerve. So with that being said, Damon, what are you giving serve to first, or serves?
So I've got a couple of serves, and they're mostly on looks.
Okay.
And only because these two wowed me. And these are quite the serves. One is for Acacia's buttercream look. I love this like yellow and blue, and like the dress looked so amazing. It was whoever made it, well crafted. Good kudos on her. I will give her a little bit of because she really should have not done that super hot, like bright fuchsia pink, like blush on her side, on the sides of her face. I feel you could have toned it down to like a lighter color, or even a pastel. Like give us something. You could still go 80s and go that route and give us a little pastel-y, like pink or something along those lines. I think it would have gone a lot better than that super bright blush and then highlight. But I love the look. You look really amazing. Very, very, very nice. There are a few really great looks, but that one for me, like, amazing. And of course, I cannot. I fell in love with Jules this season, and her entrance look, baby. Like, I talked about Anya's pants like last season and being like, yep, I'm going to take up all the fucking room that I can, because fuck y'all. This is my, this is my moment. Even though it's not my moment, this is my fucking moment.
Right.
And this look was about that. Like, it was huge. It was voluminous. It was a very fun, very wonderful take on like a quinceañera dress with a hint of just elegance. Not a hint. A smack of elegance and refined taste, and that was really, 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 really amazing. Great job, Jules, and whoever made that look, because it just very, like, I don't want to call it like a ballerina. I just felt it was very, very, very well done.
No, I agree with both of those. Acacia did look really amazing. I know she gets a lot of shit for her makeup. I mean, it's her choice. Maybe she'll soften it over time. I do think it was a bit harsh for the look, but it's also her signature stamp, kind of. So there's that. And Jules, I mean, she really struck a look. Like, I mean, she hit the runway, and I was like, whoa. It immediately evoked Breakfast at Tiffany's, like Audrey Hepburn. It was this regalness That said, the more I looked at the dress, the more I kind of wanted it to change. The bottom was 4 whole, like, outward, like, pieces.
Yeah.
And there's just something about the dimensions of it and her being so skinny, like, that it just didn't quite come together. And as you were talking, I was thinking, like, what if she made them a little shorter and they came in closer to the body? Or is it where they were hitting on the leg? I don't know. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad look. I'm just saying there's something about it that I would have liked it to be different or better, but I can't think of what it is because I'm not really a designer. So I don't know. Like, it almost feels like Galinda's dress from Wicked got smushed. You know what I mean? Like, because hers, the whole thing comes off the hip and goes down like a big bell, and Jules's was more squat. Like it was almost like it was trying to be more mermaid, and that the whole flare came lower on the dress. Anyways, at least it seemed to me. It's either that or she's so short in terms of her height that the bottom of it looked like it was eating her up, and so it was difficult, and she started to look maybe more like a Barbie doll cake than what the intention was. I don't know. The more I talk about it, the more it seems like I'm shitting on it, and I'm trying not to. I'm just saying I really did like it, but I also kind of felt like there was something that could have been done with it. I just don't know what.
Yeah, I think for me, I really quickly looked at all of her like looks kind of moment, and I'm like, there was an evolution to her that, again, I don't think I was fully expecting, and I do see what you're seeing, which is I think I see a 22-year-old like still trying to fine tune things. Like there's a lot there, but I feel like if we were to give Jules like another year or two to really like work on things and work with designers and find the things that really, really, really work for her, she might be full on look queen.
Yeah, that's fair.
But she's not now, but just Anywho, but the Gary, how about you? Serves.
So I have 2 serves also. First, Jules' ding comedy number, like her solo number. I'm going to say something controversial. I thought it was the best. I liked it out of the 4. I thought it was engaging. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was very self-deprecating. I thought it was something I kind of didn't quite expect from her. And I still can't tell if the wobble at the top of the stairs was an accident or on purpose. Not when she fell off the back. Spoiler alert, for those of you who haven't seen the finale, you really shouldn't be listening to this episode. But she got to the top of the stairs and she went up backwards, I think. Or she got up to the top and she quickly spun around. But anyway, she tottered and teetled like she was going to literally fall over. And she uprighted herself and then stumbled backwards, which was actually supposed to happen. And then she fell off the back onto like a padded mat or whatever. So I don't know. Like hers first out the gate, I was like, oh shit. Like you set the bar.
And
I didn't feel that the other 3 met it.
Can I be honest?
I mean, you could be honest or lie. I don't care. I'm just being honest. I'm like, I thought it was the best.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I think she went first. So she had a lot to like not expectation, but she had a lot going because she was going first alphabetically. That's how they always do this shit.
I was going to say, it took me a moment to realize that. When was that? Last episode? The episode before? I can't remember when it was the final 4. I'm like, why are they in this order? And then I had to think about it. I was like, oh, right, alpha order. That's why. Anyway, so she probably knew going into this she was going first.
Right. And maybe that's why it kind of, but it like you said, it hit a lot of good fun moments. We always say, like during the competition, make Rue laugh, like make Rue laugh, make Rue laugh. She'll go with you if you make her laugh.
Right.
And I think this was one of those moments where she added the comedy, the self-deprecation, but also added some of her own like uniqueness to it, as it were.
Right.
And it was really good.
It was
well done.
It was well rehearsed.
Yes, also that.
Like, shout out to the crew, the dancers especially. Like, my God, they had to dance so much in the finale. Like, I never paid attention before, but they had to do 4 individual numbers, and then they had the rude, like, musical number, and there was, like, the interstitials, like, the breaks. There was just a lot going on, and it was all choreographed, so they had to know all those different things. And what struck me about Jules specifically was there was a lot of intricacy. There was a lot of, there was a lot of traveling, side to side, but there was a lot of interaction. Like, there had to be timing beats to get the comedy right for her to, like, smack them, for her to throw things at them and hit them. Like, and, like, so they had to be involved in that. Like she could rehearse the shit out of it in Florida before coming back to California to have the whole thing ready. And she could have potentially had videos of each individual dancer's choreography ready to go and just like uploaded it to them or sent it to them or whatever. It was like, Bobby, you get this one, Jack, you get this one, BB, you get this one, whatever their names are, I don't know. And so like they could kind of figure it out and then be pretty much ahead of things or kind of be ready without trying to do it on the fly is my guess, like to make up the choreography. So it just, I don't know.
Who knows how many weeks, how long they're in this, how long they're there before they do the finale kind of. But again, I agree. Like and that's maybe what made it special. There was like you said, there's a lot of intricate movements that made it work really well. And I think out of the performances, it was the one that I feel like was the most memorable.
Well, for me, it was the most entertaining.
Yeah.
If I had to talk about like remarkable or memorable, I would say Jules and Sam's are the most memorable. Sam's had a lot of stunts, not necessarily surprising. She's an EOY competitor. Like, she's been doing pageant stuff. So she brought a lot of pageant to her number. What's most rememberable about it, or remarkable, is everyone has been, not everyone, I'm exaggerating, a number of people have been commenting on the ending.
With the bobble.
Right, with the lift, and how she is like the Leaning Tower of Pisa to keep herself upright, because I don't know what happened in the lift, but it didn't go like perfectly correct. No. And no matter what, she got there, like she's there, but you could tell she is leaning, and I don't know what's happening with the dancers, and they're like not shaking or anything, but I was like, oh boy. Like, a part of me is like, did they get a chance to do their numbers more than once for the camera like angles or not? And like that's the better of the endings? I don't know. I kind of feel like there must not be a second edit.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Well, no, I do. I was about to say I don't know why they would have used that one other than to make it a little obvious that she wasn't going to move on. And I hate to say it, but like you kind of have to be fucking perfect at this level. You're competing for the actual crown. Like, this is the last stand, so to speak. So it has to be spot on or it's not.
Right.
So, yeah.
Anyway. What else, Mr. Daddy?
All right, so I also have to give a serve, baby. Like, I kind of referenced this earlier. I had to look up their name. Sebastian Gonzalez Molina. He's one of the dancers. He's the dancer I pay attention to.
Hold on.
So now Damon's gonna go look him up. Like, you'll know exactly who he is the moment you see the picture, because he's been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
he reminds me a lot of is it Sean, the former
Oh yeah,
member of the pit crew?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, listen, I need everybody to understand this. This boy is not my type. Like if he was cruising me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I mean, like, I guess what I'm saying is I would throw him out of bed. But at least we'd have a chance in bed or something. Maybe we just cuddle. I don't know. He's just so like he just draws my eye. Like, and I was paying attention to him in the finale and him dancing. I don't know if he's lead or if he's captain of choreography, but that boy, not only does he know how to dance, but he is like constantly on. Like, he's kind of showing up the other dancers, in my opinion. And he just knows how to move his body, how to look good. He just presents himself very, very, very well, and deserves the recognition of like being involved in the Drag Race franchise for many years, and has been doing a lot of stuff, and has been part of the Vegas live show, I think, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I didn't know what his name was, and finally I was like, God damn it, I'm just gonna look it up.
He was on this last season. He was one of the dancers that came in.
In 16, you mean, or the current one?
Yeah, 16. He was one of the dancers that came in. Like, I'm looking at the on his IMDb page. There is a picture,
Okay,
and it's from the makeover episode of season 16.
okay.
I'm trying to figure out which one he was. It's not helping. Anyway, it's just he's hot. Anyway,
He's got perfect beard syndrome.
and not just that, he's hot. I'm sorry.
Well, no, he is. He's hot. He's Latin. I mean, he's got like a 12-pack of abs. I don't care about that. Like a man with a belly, but there's just something about his like strong jaw, facial features. Like, he kind of gives virility.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give me. I don't know. He doesn't strike me as a dancer, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you mean.
Like, he doesn't, like, yes, he kind of has a dancer's body, but I don't know. He seems a little more rugged. Anyways, so just a random thing to be giving a serve for, but I wanted to shout it out. With that being said, David, let's move on to swerves. What did you give a swerve for? Sorry, I'm laughing at this.
Period. I'm giving swerves to Rue's number because, and I said I wrote down what was Rue singing, and I wrote it down what was Rue singing because I could not tell you what that song was, and I don't know if it was just audio or what have you, but whatever I couldn't tell you. I saw like visually, yes, she did her two-step, she had her prop, and she was whacking with the little like ruler thing, and that was cute. That's great. But what were the words coming out of her mouth? No fucking clue.
Right.
I don't know what the song was called. I don't know what it was about. I don't know anything because I could not tell you what was going on because I could not understand the words that were being said.
Yeah.
And is that a sign of the auto-tune magic? Maybe. But whatever was going on, it was not. It was a song, I guess. Swing and a miss with a whole. So great to see Rue trying.
Well, I mean, we may be having to face some reality. Girl's getting old.
Yeah.
I mean, she's never been a stunt queen.
No.
A gymnastic queen. She's kind of always been supermodel, as in looks, not movement, not dancing. Like, so.
Right.
But yeah.
Yep, full T. If this was meant to like promote Rue and give us like, oh, here comes her next album or whatever, I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, my feeling is I've been good for a few years. I stopped buying her albums a while ago, so.
Also true. Fact. T. Where's my fact fan? Is this it? Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. No,
But it just wasn't. Other than honestly, the dancers, and I like the looks on the dancers. I thought that school kind of vibe was cute. But
honestly, that drew my attention.
Right.
I stopped paying attention to Rue looking like a weird dominatrix in a classroom, and paid attention to the boys running around in their little black and white plaid shorts and their cut off like white tops.
Yeah, I like the look.
Yeah,
but it was a choice. Good on her.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Gary. Ooh.
I know. I told you I got a lot of feelings about this finale.
Uh-oh.
I think Anya's number was a swerve.
You mean her
solo number? I didn't. No, oh wait. I got to start with this. Anya is fucking talented,
right?
And she comes from a theater background. Like, she's done like stage performance stuff. She's talked about it, and that is what gave her the edge up. Not theater like Broadway, like musical theater. She's just done live performance and things. I think she did church. Like, she did a bunch of things that she's seasoned about being in front of people and putting on a show.
Right.
That gave her confidence, not cockiness. Samstar. So, I think the... just...
Oh, wait. I meant to grab the other one.
I'm just saying, I think Anya, threads the needle better about presenting herself. That being said, her vocal track was the best.
Yes.
Hands down.
Right.
I just didn't like the number. I didn't like the coat.
Yeah.
I have to agree with, did you watch the pit stop?
Yes.
I have to agree with Bianca Del Rio bitching about the zipper and the nude illusion. Like, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, why? Like, this is the finale. This isn't a look that you brought to the show for the regular season.
It was. But anyway.
Maybe.
But even still, like, I wouldn't bring... Even still, I wouldn't bring something I already have.
Or I would redo it.
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, this nude illusion front panel needs to be one piece, and I need the zipper to not be a zipper. I needed it to be like snaps or something in the back.
Right.
Because she had dancers, they were going to be able to help her out of it.
Yeah.
So you just needed to reverse the movement.
It was a weird choice, and I clocked it when it showed up on the screen, and I was like, that's odd looking. Why did we do that?
Yeah.
And it didn't help. Anyway, moving right along.
So, hands down, she's talented. I just didn't care for it. I thought it was not as good as Jules, and I thought it was... Okay, I'll say it this way. In the ranking, I think it was better than Lexi, probably on par with Sam, not as good as Jules.
Right.
And for the finale, it just...
It didn't... For me, it was good. It was good. But I would not give it like super amazing, great, wonderful. Like I agree with you. Jules's was the best. Jules's was wonderful, and I think, and she wasn't last, so that did not work. That wasn't the issue. It was just very. I loved her look after she took the coat off. kind of, for the most part.
Well, okay, so her outfit after she takes that balloon puffy jacket thing off, I don't know what to call it. And so we get the reveal. Her body was banging. Like
yes,
that looked amazing.
yes.
I have a critique about the hair. It screamed synthetic, brand new synthetic, and it just bothered me a little bit because it had flyaways that kind of kept catching. It was being a little strange, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't know why that was a little misbehaving, other than like, was it the wig or is it like just lack of practice? Like
Maybe.
with a long black straight wig to know how it's going to behave. I don't know.
Maybe it just wasn't good. It wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Considering where we were, considering what was going on, considering the what we've seen of her, it could have been better. I think it was Bianca in the pit stop that was saying I would have loved her to have done something a little bit more.
Yes.
Park and Barky,
yes,
giving us a. But I know for the finale they want entertainment as well, so they want something with a little bit more like thrill and spill.
But she could have done both.
She could have.
She could have started with a Park and Bark with a big ass like gown that looked immaculate, with like slow moving dancers in the background, very bluesy. And then, and actually, now that I think about it, because it would have been a callback to In the Season, and then it could have had a Chicago-esque break from the musical and be like, yeah, that, you know what I mean? Not quite that, but you know what I mean? Like this really kind of like quick beat transition thing that turned it into this like 20s, 30s flapper, ragtime, bigger production, higher energy dance move around, like.
Yeah.
Really sell it.
Yeah. I do think it just, like I said, I like the number. I just think I agree with you that I think it could have been something better. It could have been something bigger. And let me rephrase it. Of the queens, if she had done what we're talking about, like something a little bit more subdued, especially in the beginning, that maybe exploded more,
right?
That would have set her up separate from everyone else.
Yeah, because I mean, all of them kind of, well, although that's the equity, I guess, is all four of them were pretty consistent. Like, here's your BPM, and it doesn't really change.
Yeah.
As opposed to what we're talking about is like, take me on a journey, start me in one place, and then like drive me to a new place. Like, take me, elevate it, give me an experience.
Anyway, that's fine. You have another one. Ooh.
I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm putting all my feelings out there, and I realize this might also be controversial, but girl, I'm sorry. Saphira's look.
What the fuck you doing here?
Girl, what were you wearing? I don't understand it, Damon. I really don't.
It's fine.
They come out as Miss Congeniality, and oh my god, her name went completely out of my head.
Tsunami?
Yes, Tsunami comes out first. Hers was, okay, of the two, hers was better. Still didn't care for Tsunamis that much. I was like, what are you wearing? But, like, Saphira, like, the fact that she comes out and Saphira's not next to her, I'm like, oh, Saphira's got something big on. Like, they both can't make it out there at the same time. That became abundantly apparent in about 2 seconds. I was like, why is Tsunami by herself? And then Saphira comes out, and then all I did was stare at Saphira, and I was like, what in the fuck is that? And why do you look so not like you? It was strange. It was a miss for me. I was like, no, ma'am. Nope. Send it back. Temu did you wrong. Not good. I don't understand what we were going for with the creativity of it. It just didn't work. It didn't translate, I guess. Now the comedy skit between them was kind of fun. Although that was honestly funny when they were like, there will not be a Miss Congeniality this year. Girl,
I would have believed it.
I was conflicted because
Are you sure?
there's a part of me that was like, "Ah, damn, that sucks," and then another part of me that was like, "I'm okay with that." Like I was kind of 50-50 on it. I was like, "Oh, no Olay body wash this year or whatever." Like for Miss Congeniality, sucks to be a contestant, but
So I'm looking at the picture. Hi, I have two screens. I'm looking over here at this picture of Saphira's finale look, and I'm kind of looking at this, and I'm not getting the obviously full on picture. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
like this is her and Tsunami. They're already on stage. It just, like you said, I just don't. It doesn't work. The hip is too high. Like that's first number one. Like the hip is too high. It feels very weird that it is like here. So here's breast, here's hip. Like that is really, 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 really high. The slit is too high. This big ass like lettuce leaf feels weird, and not like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to what's going on.
Right.
I get
Right.
it. I get it. It doesn't, girl.
It's one of the many things that lead up to a later comment that I'm going to make. Not about Saphira. I just mean like this whole show, this episode.
Last minute, like. Anyway, sorry. Just.
I know.
Anyway, let me move on. Let's move on.
The reason why it's a swerve for me is it did not meet my expectation.
That's fair.
I think of Saphira as much better than what was presented. That's the issue.
That's very fair.
So with that being said, let's move on to Nerve. Damon.
Speaking of Nerve, lip sync for the crowd with no reveals. That takes nerve. So spoiler alert, real quick. The final two are Jules and Anya, and they perform to Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. I will talk about that later. But Jules does all of these like her outfit, all of these reveals with the outfit, and that's kind of cool and great. Anya does not. She just performs the song, and she's performing things, and she's doing it her own way, and she's doing it her own style. And I've been watching TikTok, and I've been getting videos like she apparently did the Harlem Shake. I don't know that. I will own that, but like she did things in her own culture and all the things that she was doing, and I was like, yeah, that takes a lot to get to that finale and that performance and that song and not do any reveals. So I'm giving the nerve for that because when she came out and I was looking at the outfit and I was like, there's not a lot here. If that makes sense. Like there's the big like
it does.
It's a coat and it looks like a coat and like a legging almost, maybe with the and I was kind of like, unless something's opening up and we're getting something else, or there's a like the reveal is something coming on with the coat. I was like, there's not a reveal here, and I was like, oh, okay. And then we're performing, and again, I will talk about the performance a little later.
Okay.
But the fact that there was no reveal, I'm like, you're going on that charisma that you already have, that theatricality that you already have, and you're kind of banking on that. So,
well, I agree with you. I see what you're saying. I also thought there was going to be a reveal, but I thought it was the jacket. I thought there was something about the jacket because the big thing, it was weird. It was kind of flopping around. Like I kept thinking like, oh, the jacket's going to come off.
Right.
Like
I did too.
But anyways.
I did think the jacket was... Shut up. I wouldn't... Sorry. the the wiki keeps asking me to turn off my ad blocker.
How rude.
Good luck with that, Mama.
Nice.
Anywho,
Yeah.
what about you, Gary?
I'm just gonna call it out. Production cuts. Is that what happened in this finale? I feel like that's what happened in this finale. I can't think of anything else that explains it. They did not go to a theater.
No.
They did it in a studio. Presumably the same studio that they've been recording the season. At least the same studio, I'm guessing, that they recorded the lip sync Lola Perusa SmackDown reunion in.
Right.
So, like, it's canned audience applause for like 40, 50 people, maybe. And it's like weird central casting, like people that are plugged into empty seats plus special guests of the top 4. And the current contestants at the back in front of the judges panel. And the only reason why I know that is because Susie's outfit kept clipping into the shot.
Oh, Susie.
Speaking of, I'm just gonna I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna add that to the doc here. I'm gonna give nerve to Susie Toot for coming out in that outfit for her final look. It was very dramatic, but campy, like Audrey Broadway musical. And I will say, I did not clock for the first couple seconds the stunt of the outfit. I did not clock that the hands and arms that you see were prop and that they were not her actual hands and arms. That was so fucking well executed.
Yeah.
It wasn't until she started moving and puppeting the appendages, quote unquote, that I was like, what the? And I was like, honestly, like at first I was like, I thought they were puppeted. Like I thought there was like a mechanism or there was something that I wasn't aware of. And then I clocked and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
I almost gave that snaps. I almost did. I was so thinking about it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Susie. Her final runway was amazing.
Yeah. A way in sounds weird. Again, Susie doing things in her own sort of way.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we want to move on to our next segment? All right. All right, it's time to talk about snaps and eye rolls, aka the highs and the lows, these hits and misses that we want to give specific focus to in this finale episode of season 17. Damon, what are you giving snaps for?
So I'm going to give snaps for giving the girls their own voice. And what I mean by that is the final lip syncs for the final 4 lip syncs.
Mm-hmm.
It was a twist. First time in Drag Race history. Maybe it's true. Like the final 4 queens sang their own vocals, which we've seen these lip syncs where they've done these songs that have been written for them and everything, and it's never really been in their own voice. Like even Goddess, the one that popped in mind, Goddess, I don't think was in. Like Sasha Colby's voice. That's one that always pops in my head and I love so much. So I appreciate them taking the time, recognizing the talent of the queens and allowing them to record the vocals for their own numbers.
Right.
It added a little bit of connection that this is their own choice.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt they wrote the song, but like they at least got to record the lyrics, record the vocals for the songs, which I think was really good.
Right.
So yeah, I appreciated that. So that's why I'm giving my snaps to for this finale. Do I think it's a thing for the future? It would genuinely depend on if the queens can actually sing.
Well, that I was going to say, I think production pulls that lever if they have at least one, if not more than one, in the finale that can sing.
Right.
Otherwise, why would you put 4 people up to sing that can't sing? Nobody wants to experience that.
No one wants to hear that.
Right. So that's why you hire the
There
professionals.
were some moments in the season that I was like, ooh, y'all should find somebody else.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah. So that's me. That's fine. Something sweet and simple. I'm good. Gary?
So I have 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is recognizing Liza.
Mm-hmm.
Liza Minnelli. Even if it was awkward.
Absolutely.
These Lifetime Achievement Award things are nice. I know what World of Wonder is trying to do. They are attempting to have some recognition of our community and the artistry that ties into it and the importance of it. But baby, you should have been doing this since about season 4. Not the past handful of years, because now it feels hurried, rushed, and like not desperate, but like it's uncomfortable. Because I don't think anybody has really seen Liza in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And now we know why. She's getting older, and she's not as good as she has been in the past. And I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just like, as a person, as a child who has an aging parent who is in a facility, like instantly I was watching her and I was like, oh, okay. Like that interview between Rue and Liza, where Liza doesn't change her position, her body position in the chair and sit up at least for a while, I was like, yikes. I will say this. She still has her wit. She still has her humor. She still knows how to turn it on when there's an audience and the spotlight's on. Like, she knows how to be on.
Right.
But I was embarrassed. Like, it was a little painful to watch this happen, because I was like, did nobody think at all to like maybe not do this? I don't know. I just don't know.
I appreciated it. I'm glad not glad. That sounds weird. I appreciated the effort.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just like I'm comparing it to like Elvira, like a couple of years or last year, whenever it was,
Right.
and being like, it feels a weird place to put it. It feels like an awkward situation, like awkward. Like I get, we want to, fill time. We need to put in like space for whatever,
Right.
and I get that. But she's 79.
Mm-hmm.
She's 79 years old. She's approaching 80. It was clear she's not that she's not all there. Don't get me wrong. I think that it was clear that she was not going to be physically able to do everything that she needed to do, or they would have probably wanted her to do.
Right. Like I felt bad because I was like, I think everybody wants to see her dance.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to see her get up and move around or whatever. And it became abundantly clear, like, that's not going to happen, kids.
No.
That's not a thing that she can do. She is not Cheetah Rivera.
No.
Like, Cheetah Rivera to the end, like, was moving and doing and, like, you know, and so as a Broadway legend of the stage and screen, it was a little uncomfortable. Right? I was just like, wow, okay. We did that.
It was, I think I even said, Jim, like, I'm glad that's done. Like, again, was I expecting something bad to happen? Absolutely not. But
right.
There's a moment where you're watching someone who is clearly in that aged, like, decline, and why are we watching this for entertainment? That part.
Like, and here's the thing about it is, I feel like it was 5 years late. That's what I mean by, like, some of these retrospective things that they've been doing. I'm like, oh, I wish you kids had been doing this like a decade sooner or something, because I really feel like you could have caught some people at a better point,
right,
in their vitality, I guess.
No, I agree.
And so, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just, and there's a part of me that feels like, you know, Tom and Fenton and them at World of Wonder, along with Rue, were like, we have to honor these people. I don't have a problem with that. I'm in total agreement with that. I just think the execution a couple of times now has been a little, like, you know.
In this particular instance, and I'm just going to say this and be honest and bold, if they had just had a video retrospective.
Yes.
And just, like, gave us, like, she doesn't have to be there. She doesn't have to be on stage. Maybe do the ring bell. Like, that's cute. That's fine. But, like, give us that video that they gave us. And then, thank you so much. Maybe, depending on, again, the quality of the video, maybe have a video of her, like, getting the award and what have you. But we don't have to.
Right. And here's the thing is, for the purpose of the show, it could have been pre-packaged. They could have spent a day just trying to get that and editing it to the best of the ability without the audience in the room.
Right.
They could have still shot it on the stage. They could have angled the cameras. They could have done it with many takes to get it so that it would be just right. But I don't think they went that way. I think they decided, nope, we're going to do this live in front of everybody. And God bless Susie Toot, because Lord knows she was probably peeing her panties, like, seeing Liza literally right in front of her as, you know, a Broadway legend. And yet at the same time, I was like, I agree with you when you said, you know, you were glad it's over. I'm like, yeah, that's what it comes down to. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does. And it's not it's not that I don't want to see, like, you know, older people on stage or anything like that. It just
I agree.
Like, what's the point beyond entertainment?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point?
No, and so this is the thing is, I'm giving snaps that they recognized her.
Yeah.
But I also want to own that it was not comfy.
No. It's true. There's some tea there. Like, absolutely.
Like, I honestly thought the entire time she was going to be on stage, her body was just going to be in that one position with her legs swung over the side, like, kind of lounged. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But,
anyway.
So. And then I also want to give snaps for the pit stop of the finale. Having Bianca Del Rio come back for the very last episode of the pit stop for season 17 was chef's kiss.
Yes.
Bianca is a consummate professional, rotted to the core, always entertaining.
Absolutely.
Had fun with Monet, and I'm just going to own it. The pit stop of the finale was better than the finale. Not shade for me. It was all tea. I laughed a half dozen times. I caught myself smiling. I enjoyed the entire experience of the pit stop. I did not feel that way about the finale.
Ooh.
And so that's why it gives the snaps, because even though there was some silliness and banter about it, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I think that was sort of the problem I had with the episode, or the finale, was I didn't find it to be fun. It felt Play-Doh factory, like shove that shit out the thing, make the shape. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it was very produced, like obnoxiously so. It was kind of like, wow, okay, I'm gonna say it. It's like pizza. There's that saying, there's no such thing as bad pizza. There's good pizza, there's better pizza, and then there's okay, so pizza. This episode was okay, so pizza. Was not that great. Was it bad enough that I never want to watch the show again? No.
I get it.
But if this is the trend, baby. Anyways.
Yeah.
So since I'm shitting while I'm talking about snaps, let's just move on to eye rolls. I'm being like so poopy about this. What are you giving eye rolls to, David?
So that was the choice, is what I put down. Yours is kind of maybe part of this, but my premise is Abracadabra was a terrible song to use as the finale lip sync for the crown. It is too hot right now.
That's interesting.
It's a very popular song, and it's being like blasted so much right now that having it be the song of finale felt awkward. There's only so much you can do with that song, and people already have in their head a very obvious, like, choreographed, spectacular number by Lady Gaga.
Yes.
So when you hear that song, you have an idea of what you're going to see.
Okay.
And putting two queens into this number, it just felt off for me. The number wasn't 100, like, the performance wasn't great. I've not had, like, while I was kudoing in a way, like, Anya, like, not doing any reveals and it taking nerve to do that, it still wasn't necessarily a great performance. There's been this commenting on TikTok back and forth about, like, how, like Jules beat Anya because Jules had reveals. And I'm kind of like, to me, honestly, and this is going to be tea, that lip sync didn't do anything. That lip sync didn't change the outcome, didn't add to anything for either one of the queens. To me, the decision had probably already been made. And it was just, like we've been talking about production, it was just a matter of getting there to have it happen. If that lip sync hadn't happened, I still think Anya would have won.
I told you I got so many feelings about this one.
Well, okay, so fine. Let me rephrase it a little bit.
Okay.
Let me say it like this. In the grand, I won't say if the lip sync didn't happen. I'll take that aside. Let me reverse it, like, and it didn't matter. The lip sync was not as important as the body of work that had happened before.
It was not as consequential.
Right.
Yes.
It was not as consequential.
Yes.
That's a better way to say it.
Well,
it did not. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I mean, this was such an awkward finale. I don't care for this structure a little bit. It was super obvious that Lexi wanted to move on to the top two.
And
didn't.
Yeah.
And that was disappointing. She had a whole aesthetic thing for her finale look. She was standing in front of the judges, intentionally hiding the way she looked to reveal it for if she moved on, and then she was kind of forced to reveal it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I agree with you 100% that the outcome was already set and the lip sync did not matter. In that, however you performed in the lip sync was not going to change who won.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think Jules won the lip sync. I did not like what Anya did, and I thought it was disappointing. It was confusing me. It felt like a bar, like, competition lip sync, and I'm like, that's not how this should feel. This is the stage of the world's largest like drag competition, so I'm so confused as to what's going on
that's
here.
Why I think for my nerve part, that's kind of where I think I agree with you in a way. Like, I feel like it took a lot of nerve to do that performance on merit alone.
Right. I mean, but I will give you the recognition and the props of Damon to say like that it does take nerve to not do anything, to have no stunts, no reveals, when Jules had all of them. But it was obvious when Jules came walking out that she was going to have a bunch of things to do. She had a prop, she had a whole look. Like, it also was kind of obvious that both of them knew this was the number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jules aesthetically was ready for this number. Anya, not so much, in my opinion.
Other than Lady in Red.
Correct. I'm just going to say it. Anya gave me Sunday going to church. Like...
And there, to me, it's not that there's anything wrong with that. That sounds like a terrible way to say it.
No.
And if there had been okay, I'll put it like this. I got what Anya was putting down, although I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily understand the Harlem Shake part of it, but like, I got what Anya was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But what Anya was doing was not necessarily going to change the outcome.
Right. Well, and that's the part that made it super obvious when the winner was revealed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'll give it to you now. I feel like we're going to say some things with your eye rolls.
Yeah. I asked the question because I'm not confident I want to give it this title, but worst finale in the series? I'm just gonna put it all out there, Damon. I hated it. I did not like this episode. I didn't like the use of the studio. I thought it was weird. It felt uncomfortable. There was something off about it. It like, I don't, and then I was thinking back as we were talking through this episode, and I was like, but they did the same thing last year. Mm-hmm. They performed on the same stage in the finale, and I don't remember paying attention to that. It did not seem to impact my takeaway of the finale. But boy, did it this time. It was real goddamn obvious it was the studio, and like everything just seemed strange about it. And I'm going to go this far. It almost also felt like that the cast knew. Like that they knew that it was not as good or as grand. Because some of the attitude and some of the preparation of some of the queens was not the same as it has been in the past. And it just came across to me like something's up and I don't quite know what it is.
Right.
And so I feel like some queens were like, it's not that serious. I'm not going as hard on this. You know, like, and I will say this, Nymphia Wind showed up everybody.
Fuck yeah.
So much so that she looked out of place on that stage. Like she shouldn't have been on that stage in the studio. She should have been on a different stage. And that's like how bad this episode was. That I just was so uncomfortable. When it was over, And so I'm just going to call it out. Here's the thing, because I feel like I have to say this. I am happy that Anya won. She deserves to win. She was the front runner, and she is such a well-rounded package.
Right.
That said, it just felt uncomfortable and ham-fisted and weird and just not good. It was like a not so good date that you still go to bed with because you're horny and you want to get laid, and you're like, and then afterwards you're like, was it worth it? Because like a part of you is satisfied, you got off, but you're also like, did I have to go through all that?
Just to get that?
Did I have to spend all that money? Did I have to do all these things? Like, to make it really crude, did I douche for this? Was it worth it? Like, I douched
for this?
Sorry.
That was a choice.
I don't know. I'm going to say this. The word of the episode is disappointment. I'm disappointed in World of Wonder. I'm disappointed in the production. But I'm not disappointed in some other things. Some of those queens, man, they really showed out. So yeah, like I was really happy with some aspects of stuff.
Yeah.
But like we've been talking about this whole time now, there were some really strange things. It's kind of like, and this is a really bad reference probably. It makes me feel like I rode Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, like not knowing, 1, what the ride was going to be, 2, how the experience was going to go, and 3, afterwards I'm like, did I just do that? Did I like that? I'm not sure. I feel very uncomfy, like, and not in a weird consensual way. It's more like, what happened? Like, it's not even like I wanted, it's not even like I wanted, I don't know, like cranberry juice and I got grape juice. It's not even that. It's like, I don't know. It's like I had my heart set on one specific thing. This is what it comes down to. It's about expectations. The reason why I'm upset and I'm bothered by it and uncomfortable is because it didn't meet the measure of what I was expecting out of it. And it's like I had my heart set on like country fried steak with mashed potatoes and white gravy and, you know, corn on the side. And I go to this place and they have it on the menu and then I order it and the grease that they fried the steak in is old, and you can taste it, and it affects the meal. And the gravy is salty, and the potatoes aren't that great. Like there's just these things that are off of it. So by the time I get done with the meal, I'm like, did it satisfy me? Did it fill me up? Did it give me what I wanted? Kind of,
but not really.
But I got what I wanted out of it.
Did you though?
I did. I got Anya as the winner, and I wanted her to be the winner. Like I honestly was nervous going into the finale about which way it was going to go. No offense, Sam, you weren't going to win. And so it was going to be. It was very apparent to me it was going to come down to Jules and Anya. But I was like, I don't know. They could really kind of spicy, get with this. And I was scared they were going to give Anya the Saphira treatment. And she was going to be congeniality, and she couldn't be the winner. And I was like, so help me, that happens 2 years in a row, I'm going to be pissed. Like, I'll throw the remote. Not at the TV, because I paid too much damn money for it. But, like I'm just like, I cannot stomach 2 years in a row of a leading black woman being, like, the front runner, and the one that should be winning, wanting her to win, and then she doesn't win. And she gets the congeniality prize. So, like, the fact that didn't happen, like when they announced congeniality and they gave it to Crystal Envy, I was like, holy shit. I was like, okay, there's hope. There's hope yet. you can pray on this one. Like, so I got what I wanted in the end, but I don't know. I have all these analogies. It's like, just, I don't know. It was just disappointing. It's like I wanted a specific thing and I got something else. Not quite up to snuff.
So, let me say this.
Sorry.
because someone had a rant. Just gonna say, like, here's your moment, have it.
And I did.
But I feel like I'm going back in time, and I'm thinking about when we first got to this season and how excited I think we both were about, like, there was a shift in how this season started and how it was going. It was very different than what we've seen other seasons, especially recently, have been. Um, the queens were a little catty. There was some drama. It was entertaining. There was some obvious, like, um, stuff going on that made it interesting and investing, and we were invested. And then we get to the finale, and it doesn't own up to all of that.
Mm.
It didn't. The There it is. The season wrote a check that the finale didn't cash.
Girl.
Like, I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, that's what it is. This season has been very fun, unique. We've loved Untucked. We've seen the girls, like, getting at it. There's all these moments that have been just really, really amazing. And then we get to the finale, and it is bland potatoes.
That part.
Not that it was bad. Not that we didn't, like, we're not, okay. We are not upset that our favorite didn't win. In a way, our favorite did win. I think we're upset in how they were presented to win.
Yeah.
The presentation of the finale, from the get, is weird. Like, we are out of COVID. We're out of COVID.
Right.
We don't need to worry about, like, people getting together and doing all the things. So, like, that fear of, like, let's keep it small and intimate because, COVID, blah, 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 blah. We're out of this, like, fear of that. We shouldn't be afraid to go big and bold. Number one. Two, you're on fucking MTV. RuPaul's Drag Race is a big, like, thing now. It is well known. It is popular. Continues to win. I don't think it did last year. It continues to be Emmy, nominated and special and all of this shit. So I feel like it has the money, the budget to go back into the big theaters. So the question becomes, why aren't we? Why aren't we going to the big theater and giving these queens the big moment and giving them all of this tea, giving all of the queens, like, realistically and honestly, the queens just showed up. Not the top four. The rest of the queens, they didn't even have to change. Like, years past, they've had, like, them come out and do little numbers. There's been, like, moments where they've had stuff to do, and this just felt like, okay, you get to sit for, like, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the question. I think that's where we're far. Why? Why are we filming this show in the same studio that we film Lollapalooza? That's probably adjacent to the same show theater that we do this damn show in. Why are we not taking this to a bigger, better, brighter stage? If nothing else, why the fuck can't we even just take it to, like, Las Vegas and have it be done on that stage?
Well, right. You and I talked about that. I don't know if that was on air or not. Like, we talked about that recently. Like, will the finale be produced in Vegas because they already have the stage show production layer? Like, to me, that would make the most damn sense.
Yeah, like, just put it there and move it there, and just have it be the thing.
Right.
Because you can have more people, you can sell tickets, and the only thing that's been coming up on, like, the things I've seen is that they're worried about spoilers. And I'm like, yes, you can potentially have your canned audience, like, sign NDAs and what have you so they don't spoil. And that's great. But, like, if this is the sacrifice for like the ending not being spoiled, spoil me.
Right.
It's serious. Fucking like
Right.
let the spoilers happen. Let people be assholes and talk about who's in the finale and do all of that shit. Let that be the thing that happens.
Right.
Because I would prefer that and get the really grand fucking finale
Right.
than this watered down version.
Well, and I think the key issue for us is that they've gone backwards. Like, it used to be that it was done in the studio, and then they, shifted it to the stage. They've had it in the theater for many years, and then they went back into the studio, and I think that feels like a disservice. Like I said, I don't remember it really impacting things last year that was a takeaway for me.
No.
That I was, agitated or bothered by, but man, this year, it's just not.
And I think maybe it's because we didn't get this new stage until near the end of last season.
Yeah.
Like, the stage was new and unique, and the area was like, oh, this is really kind of fun and nice. We've seen this one.
Right.
Yeah. So, for me, overall, just like I said it earlier, the season like wrote a check that the finale didn't cash, and it has nothing to do with who won. It has nothing to do with their performances or anything along those lines. It just felt very lackluster.
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like things I noticed that I didn't write down, but I was just thinking about it. Between the numbers, Rue was still on stage, like not like she would announce the numbers from stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she went backstage or went off stage.
Mm-hmm.
They did the number. Did she come back on stage?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't
entrances
or anything along those lines. It just felt anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I just think it could have been so much better. I will not say it's the worst finale ever, but it's not a great finale. It is not a grand finale. It's a finale. It's an ending.
Mm-hmm.
But grand, I would not use that word.
All right. So with that being said, so our top 4 were Lexi, Anya, Jules, Sam Star. I just realized these are not in alpha order. I was like, wait, this doesn't sound like I'm saying this correctly. In that case, but yeah. So they had their individual numbers. I think they did the best that they could.
Right. Sam Star burned that wig.
What are you talking about, girl? Like, it's a perfect helmet, It don't move, it don't do nothing. Anyways. For those that don't know, David's looking at the picture I'm sharing, which is from their look from their performance. It's so pageant, but it's also like it's never gonna move. It's like a rock.
I feel like she's worn it so many times.
That's true. That's very, very true. That being said, congratulations to Crystal Envy for Miss Congeniality. I honestly loved how surprised she was.
I mean, I would be too.
Because I didn't know who they were going to give it to.
Same.
I mean, I was scared they were going to give it to Anya. But I also wasn't mad about Crystal getting it. So,
Yeah, I wasn't mad. It just... I was thinking back, like, I was trying to figure out who would have gotten it, and I'm like, I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. There was in all honesty, y'all, there was a lot of like drama. I don't think anyone was quote unquote being congenial in a lot of ways.
Mm.
I think they were all eyeing for the crown, and that's I think why we liked this season.
Right.
No tea, no shade. Like this felt like. So a congeniality, like it would have been, like we were talking about, it would have made total fucking sense if there was like, we don't have one, And if they had said like everyone voted for one other girl, like no one got like more than one vote, like, and that's why we don't have a miscongeniality, I would have been okay with that.
Right.
Anyway.
No, that makes sense. So, with that being said, we do obviously want to recognize congratulations to Miss Anya Nerve. Well deserved. And on top of it, this bitch. Did you see this segment?
I did.
She was on Good Morning America hours after winning.
Yep.
She did so good.
Okay. Like we've talked like the finale aside and the show aside.
Yeah.
I am so proud of Anya for doing this. She's a state girl. She's from Ohio. She's out of Cleveland. I know so many people that already knew her and knew of her. And her doing this and bringing this home, I was just, as we were talking about, she won the most. She was the one that was very much consistently achieving in the show. And again, like you were saying, it felt like a Saphira, and I was genuinely worried when we got to this finale that this was what was going to happen. The queen that did the most and gave us like very unique, classic drag in a way was not going to win.
Yeah.
No shade to Nymphia, but like, so,
right.
But again, she probably, and I'm just going to say this, like Anya probably ain't padded in that number just because that outfit is very big. She probably went to sleep with the makeup on, like face up, and then like you're getting up at like 6 a.m. You're gonna like touch it up, maybe do a little more,
right?
You know, throw this outfit on.
Yep. Go do the press junket and all that jazz. But yeah, congratulations to Miss Anya Nerve. So David and I had a lot of opinions, a lot of thoughts this episode on the finale. If you have thoughts and opinions, there's ways you can let us know. You can go visit the blog at cubsoutloud.com. You can leave us a comment on there. You can also send us an email, cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You know what, mistress? I see you over there. Anyways, for those of you that didn't get the visual gag, you're just going to have to watch online. If you would like to leave us a voicemail, you can give us a ring at 361-COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. Search for Cubs Out Loud online, pretty much anywhere. We do have a Telegram chat group for the COLDR entourage. You can go to tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR. If you want to know when we're going to be doing our live stream of the main series episodes, usually on Sunday evenings, you can go to tinyurl.com/calendar-COL. If you want to buy some merch, there's plenty of things that you can do. You can go to zazzle.com/cubsoutloud and get some beautiful items, such as apparel or housewares that have the Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo on them, as well as we have a whole bunch of other series of things. Like I'm wearing the Consent is my... Wow! I'm tired. Anyways...
It's my foreplay
Consent is my foreplay. I can't read it upside down. I'm literally looking at the shirt and I was like, I got nothing. I don't know what the word is. I can't... Anyways.
You just like, and you.
She done. She cooked. That said, you can also become a patron. You can go to patreon.com/cubsoutloud for $1 or more a month. You can get the full unedited episodes. Or you could just send us a donation. You can go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud. Leave us a one-time tip. The Cubs Out Loud Drag Race is its own separate podcast feed through Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, all those places. Damon, if people want to get in touch with you online, where should they go?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as THEATRE, that's Theater Cub 79 on most related sites. You can find me as Pup_Umber on one site or Pup_Umber79 on Blue Sky. Those are not safe for work. For safe for work stuff, you want to go to DMA Gamer 79 on TikTok, Blue Sky, etc.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Gamer73. With that, we are going to end this episode of Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time. We want to thank you all for joining us, and we hope that you enjoyed this particular season. We did, even though we had some serious feelings at the end.
Have some thoughts and opinions.
Imagine that.
Surprise.